Julie H. on Facebook asks, what are the top 5 things I can do for my health?
You know, there's a few more than 5 to be in exquisite health, but if you do these top 5, it'll lead to the rest. Think of the body as a long 30-foot tube. Starts with the mouth and ends with the anus. Okay? If you take care of this tube, you will live long and prosper. If you don't take care of the tube, you're in trouble. Okay, now the tube has 2 ends, so that means what goes in it and what goes out of it. You got to keep the flow. If you don't have enough going out, it's going to back up in all kinds of ways that you can't even imagine, biochemically, and it changes the pH, and it changes the osmolality, and so things get absorbed that shouldn't get absorbed, and things don't get absorbed that should get absorbed, and all that. So you gotta keep the bottom clean. You need to be careful of the amount you put in, and you gotta keep careful of the frequency. It turns out that once you're eating and living right, you don't have to worry about that because you don't get hungry, right? You don't get this appetite all day long. You're pretty much satisfied, right? And you eat what you normally would eat, which is 1 to 1.5 times a day, right? That's pretty much what humans need, unless they're pregnant. The top 5 are going to include eating, right, which is being as close to a raw vegan as possible. Eating uncooked vegetables and plant seeds, nuts, and fruits as much as possible. You know, you don't have to be 100%. You can eat 20% cooked. You know, make sure that what you cook is still in the category of organic, fresh, and vegan. And make sure that's what you're eating. Make sure your colon is clean. Okay. The truth is, you shouldn't really eat until you've emptied out what you already ate the time before. So you know, most of us, that's going to take 1 day, which is why eating 1 meal a day is perfect. Now, because we live artificial lifestyles, we have artificial stresses. All the things that we have that are stresses in our life are so unnatural and so insane. But because of them, it changes our whole nervous system and our autonomic nervous system. We wind up not able to go to the bathroom when we should. Or you may be in a meeting when you have to go to the bathroom and you don't go. And so you hold it. And so there's a number of reasons why, even if we're eating right, we're not able to have appropriate bowel movements, which an appropriate bowel movement would be probably squatting 6 to 7 times a day. That's the position that humans should have for bowel movements. That's the natural position, and when we're in that position, it actually changes our sigmoid colon and we evacuate better. If we're sitting on the toilet, we got 2 right angles, and that's hard. That requires at least 2 magazines. So taking care of the tube. So number 1 are eating correctly, and the other one is eliminating correctly. Okay, and that may and does require enemas and colonics. You know, colonics may be until you get a series of 18 of them, 2 a week for 9 weeks. Then you can go down to 1 a month, or 1 every 2 weeks. Okay, do you become dependent on them? Kind of like you're dependent on air. Yeah, you might need it. You know, as long, you know, people say, how long do I have to quit smoking? Well, how long do I have to eat right? How long do you have to eat right? Think about it. What a question. The other one is sleep. You've got to sleep. They're really up there, you know? You've got to sleep, and you got to go to bed early. You got to go to bed 8 o'clock. 8:30 latest. Wake up at 4, 3:30. So you go to bed early. That's important. So eating, eliminating, sleeping, and then when you wake up, what are you going to do? You must get control of your mind, because your mind is it's an involuntary thing that's going on, and it'll drive you absolutely insane, like it does. That's what the mind does. It's our best friend and our worst enemy, because it wipes us out. If we don't keep it busy, it'll turn on us. How do you get control of it? You stop it. You turn it off for a while. You have to learn how to turn it off, because you certainly can't tell yourself what to think. Thinking is not voluntary. It's a thing that happens. So how do you turn it off? You turn it off by a process known as meditation. Okay, and meditation means stop thinking. You get some sort of mechanism. And listening to your breath is the most easiest. Okay, just quietly listening to your breathing. And you do this in the mornings when you wake up, so that you dedicate your day to a day of at harmony with your mind, body, and spirit. Okay, because your mind is focused and it allows your spirit and body to come in harmony in that state. Then you want to do some reading. You want to read about healing, about health, about how the body works. You don't want to read all the madness that's false about diseases. There's no such thing as diseases. And then you want to go exercise. So you got to exercise. It's got to be up there. So you eat right, you clean your bowels, you get plenty of sleep early, you meditate, meditate, read, and then you exercise. Those are the 5 most important things. And with that, your life will be fantastic. I have to add in number 6. Number 6 is periodic fasting. You've got to fast. Okay? In nature, no animal eats every day. They have periodic fasting built in to the system. So God was actually pretty clever. You're not going to find food every day. And if you find food every day, you're in trouble. So try not to eat 1 day a week, and then try to not eat 4 times a year for 1 week during the change of seasons.